Picture this: you're scrolling, half awake, and you pause on a headline that makes your stomach drop. A woman named Cathy White, once linked by gossip to Jay-Z, died suddenly under strange circumstances. Since then, a storm of questions has grown, loud, messy, and impossible to ignore. The wildest of those questions? Some people now claim Cathy might have been Blue Ivy's biological mother. Yes, that Blue Ivy. And whispers say Beyoncé might somehow be wrapped up in it. It's the kind of story that spreads fast. Grief, secrecy, and rich people protecting reputations. So let's take it slow and look at how rumors turned into a full-blown conspiracy for a lot of people. Start with Cathy. She wasn't a background figure. She was attractive, confident, and used to keeping company at the top level. She dated wealthy men. That fact alone put her in the same orbit as powerful people like Jay-Z. But timing is what makes this strange. Around the time Beyoncé announced she was pregnant with Blue Ivy, Cathy gave an interview claiming an affair with Jay-Z. Days later, Cathy collapsed and was gone. The official cause? A brain aneurysm. Sudden, tragic, final. But a lot of people asked, really? How does someone in their prime just drop dead like that? Questions multiplied. Cathy's friend Claudia Jordan, herself no stranger to gossip or high-profile stories, said Cathy had a boyfriend named Malcolm when she died. That detail drew attention. If Cathy had a partner, why didn't he speak up? Why no photos, no statements, no fight to protect her story? When someone dies under odd conditions and a supposed partner stays silent, people start to suspect either he doesn't exist or he was paid to be quiet. That suspicion sticks. Then there's the weird moment when Beyoncé's baby bump looked to some like a prop. A clip of a TV interview went viral where the bump seems to crease and fold in an unnatural way. Beyoncé said it was the clothing, nothing more. Still, for many viewers, the image didn't settle well. They remembered Cathy's interview and asked, did these timelines overlap too perfectly? Cathy would have been in her second trimester right when Beyoncé appeared on TV with a blue-wrapped bump. Blue Ivy was born under tight secrecy, strict hospital security, cleared floors, and very little public access. That sort of control raised eyebrows. Add to that the long-running rumor that Beyoncé used a surrogate because of health issues. Some insiders have claimed Beyoncé had trouble carrying a pregnancy to term, though this was never confirmed publicly. If that were true, and Cathy was pregnant at the same time, the pieces in people's minds begin to fit together. Not proof, but enough to make people dig. Enter Liz Crokin, a reporter who said she had been looking into Cathy's story and felt blocked. Her editor reportedly pulled back from publishing. That pushed the idea that someone powerful shut the story down. When a journalist says she was discouraged from pursuing a lead, it sounds like a cover-up to many readers. People started pointing fingers and hunting for anything that could explain why Cathy's death didn't get a full public investigation. Then more names circulated. Bloggers, former insiders, and gossip accounts all claimed Cathy had been asking Jay-Z for money. Not small favors, but millions, a hush amount, or leverage to secure a future. If that's true, it could explain motives for silence and for powerful people to move fast to shut things down. Money and secrets together can be lethal in public imagination. One of the louder claims came from a source called Jaguar, who has pushed gossip on celebrity circles for years. Jaguar said something shocking. She believed a woman, not Jay-Z, ended Cathy's life. And she didn't dodge the implication. She hinted that this woman could be Beyoncé. Jaguar also suggested Claudia Jordan knew more than she let on, and that Cathy was negotiating cash for a story. If the money didn't arrive, the stakes rose. Again, these are allegations from gossip channels, not court evidence. But allegations spread quickly online. Claudia's own behavior didn't help settle things. She gave interviews that sometimes sounded confirming and other times defensive. One moment she seemed to validate rumors, the next she said she was misquoted or misunderstood. Those mixed messages only deepened suspicion. People sifted old posts and found likes, comments, and screenshots that hinted she knew details. This messy flip-flop fed the narrative that someone was coaching the story or being coached. Either way, observers smelled a pattern. People also pointed to the hospital scene around Blue Ivy's birth. Reports said roots of staff changes, heightened security, and protocols that felt more like a movie set than a delivery ward. Floors were cleared, staff were told to follow special instructions. Friends and family appeared in staged photos rather than candid hospital snaps. That secrecy is normal for high-profile births to protect privacy, sure, but to many, it felt extreme, and secrecy fuels rumor. Now look at the physical resemblance. Fans have made side-by-side comparisons of Cathy and Blue Ivy. Some swore the jawline, eyes, and smile lined up in a way too striking to ignore. These comparisons spread. They're not science, just visual impressions that catch on. Still, when people see a resemblance and layer it with odd timing and silence, they begin to believe a story more strongly. Sight is persuasive, even if it is only a hint. We should be careful to say this plainly. None of what follows is proven fact. These are the claims, the whispers, and the pieces people are connecting. No court has convicted anyone. No official report has said Blue Ivy is not Beyoncé's biological child. But when people hear the same pattern in multiple places, sudden death, alleged hush money, a vanished boyfriend, inconsistent witness statements, emergency hospital secrecy, and public visuals that don't sit right, they form an impression. That impression can become a movement on social media. A striking element of the rumor is the line in a Beyoncé song some fans point to as a confession. They cite a lyric that sounds like it could be describing blood, shame, or guilt. To true believers, a single line becomes a diary entry. To skeptics, it's art, metaphor, and drama. Lyrics are emotional tools. They don't prove criminal action. Still, when people want meaning, they find it. Another oddity is the rushed and quiet handling of Cathy's funeral and aftermath. People said the service was quick, that no big public investigation followed, and that details were skimmed over. That speed makes observers suspicious. Why hurry? Why skip a full inquiry into a brain aneurysm that struck suddenly? These questions are the engine of the rumor machine. Then come the what-ifs. What if Blue Ivy wasn't carried by Beyoncé? What if a surrogate or another woman carried her? That's not impossible. Many celebrities use surrogates for private reasons. The issue for the public is not surrogacy itself, but secrecy, and the idea that someone might have been silenced to hide the truth. If a life was lost to protect a story, then we're not in gossip territory anymore. That's a crime in people's eyes. It becomes a cover-up legend. So why doesn't someone step forward? Why no whistleblower with a smoking gun? People give several answers. 1. Fear. Powerful people can be dangerous adversaries. 2. Money. Maybe payments changed hands and bought silence. 3. Shame and the instinct to protect family. Or 4. There really is no smoking gun. And this is a long chain of coincidences made into narrative by people wired to find patterns. All are possible. The accusations and questions have real effects. Families tied to these rumors feel the pressure. Beyoncé and Jay-Z's teams have always been protective and quick to defend their privacy. When rumors spiral, their response is often silence or denials through lawyers. Silence gives critics fuel. It also protects the people who are being discussed. The lack of an official, thorough public probe leaves room for speculation to thrive. People fill blanks with stories that fit their feelings. And the internet loves a mystery it can own. Bloggers dig up old posts, forums stitch timelines, video channels compile footage. The longer nothing official is released, the more the tale grows. In some corners, this reached a point where people claimed that the press was suppressed and that the media played along to protect lucrative relationships. That's a familiar part of conspiracy thinking. Powerful people keep things hidden because they can. Whether that's true here is unproven, but it's easy to believe when you see silence and secrecy. The story also taps into larger cultural fears. It's not just about name brands and music icons, it's about trust, about whether the people we admire are honest. For many, the thought that a beloved public figure might be involved in something ugly is devastating. It makes people want to know everything. The Cathy White angle is attractive to rumor because it promises a deep, dramatic truth that would rewrite what a generation believed. In the end, what matters most is this: people are dying to know. Some want justice, some want scandal, some want clarity for its own sake. Until independent investigators present clear evidence, we have to treat these claims carefully. Rumor can harm real lives, and it's dangerous to assume guilt without proof. At the same time, a sudden death, a missing partner who never speaks, a rushed post-birth setup, and odd public moments make many feel uneasy. Those feelings are real, even if the evidence is not. So for now, the question hangs. Was Cathy White's death a tragic medical event, or was it something darker, tied to power and secrecy? Is Blue Ivy who we believe she is, biologically? Did people get paid to keep quiet? Did anyone get threatened? The answers remain private or unknown. What we can say is this: the story lives in the gap between silence and explanation, and until that gap is closed, it will keep growing into the kind of legend that cannot be easily silenced. If truth matters to you, watch for facts. Look for official records, medical reports, and verified testimony. Until those appear, treat the loudest claims as what they are: compelling but unproven. Rumors can tell a powerful tale, but only evidence can turn a tale into truth.